Welcome again to the Talking Pictures podcast with hosts Tony Toscano, CC Chambers, and Raquel Baldwin-Horton. And welcome to the Talking Pictures podcast. I am CC Chambers here with
Raquel Horton,
Tony Toscano,
Jackson Banks.
And we are here at the Mangia Pizza grand opening, recording a few podcasts for our friend Robert and Dave.
Robert and Dave, Robert Cooper, who I met this year at Sundance and supplied some pizzas for us there, and he has a place up there, and now has opened in Draper. This is the coolest place ever.
Yeah, and very, very good pizza. From the East Coast, and if anyone hasn't already been on the East Coast, they are well known for their pizza.
Mangia Pizza, born in, I believe, Boston, where they're from, and it's, being an Italian, I eat pizza on the East Coast. I never order it here in the West Coast.
Really?
It is an amazing thing. We're going to get one here.
And a clever title, meaning
so
Eat
sweaty.
Pizza.
Mangia is Italian for eat.
You know, a friend, a New York native told me that the reason the pizza there was so good is because the water was so pure in New York City.
New York City water
here?
and kind of the altitude for baking pizza
Leavening
crust.
dough.
Yeah.
Right on the sea level.
Yeah.
That's the best. So how do we do it here with the elevated?
Well, we have
They
pizza.
ship in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
And actually, the dough, I'm giving up away a secret. I don't know if Bob wants me to do this, but the dough is actually made in Boston and shipped here.
Oh.
So
so
it's
good.
fresh every day.
Wow.
It's fresh every day.
Wow,
Imported
so if
dough,
you mess
people.
up your pie,
Get down here to
man, you're
Mangia's.
like wasting a resource.
Yeah.
We have imported dough.
And we are celebrating Pie and Beer Day.
Ooh.
That's tomorrow in Utah. No, it's Pioneer Day. And let's talk a little bit about some movies. CC, what do you got on your mind on the podcast today?
Well, I want to discuss Star Trek. I saw it last night. I know you guys have seen it.
I haven't seen the film, but I have some very strong opinions about this new incarnation of Star Trek, which
No.
I'll be happy to share.
It was directed or produced by J.J. Abrams. It definitely has the J.J. Abrams feel to it, the look. It's kind of, as I kind of say, it's got that milk toast feel on the screen. It has like J.J.'s films, for whatever reason, it's like everything has this like white transparency, something over his pictures. They're not sparkling crisp. It's almost like trying to take you into a dream state type of thing in his
Hypnotizing,
films.
yeah.
Or a different dimension.
Yeah, and I mean, it didn't have it on the land when they were on terra firma, but in space it always has that look to it.
Yeah, the
And-
glossy solar flare kind of thing. Right?
Yeah, and so I mean, I was like, yeah, it's got his look to that, but it wasn't directed by him. Who directed it?
Justin Lin,
Justin
who directed
Lin, Fast and the Furious,
Fast and Furious.
a couple episodes of True Detective, season 2.
He's a really good director.
He's competent for sure.
And of course, I saw the movie, and I wasn't impressed with Star Trek this time. I'm a big
I wasn't
Star Trek
either.
fan.
Thank you.
But I mean,
High
how can you
five.
be impressed with this incarnation
When
of
the
Star
last one
Trek
was
when
so
it's
good.
not really, it's not Star Trek, you know what I mean? I don't think it's going to age well.
Yeah,
this
well, it's
trilogy.
50th. We're celebrating the 50th anniversary of,
course,
the
yeah.
classic series, and I've known all the cast of both classic Trek and Next Generation. They're all friends of mine.
Right.
And there's a couple of things in this movie that were controversial, and we'll talk about it. First thing is Sulu being gay.
Yeah.
Right. Spoiler alert. Spoiler
Well,
alert.
yes.
It's not really a spoiler alert. It's been in the news.
I think,
And no plot hinges on it. It's just one scene where, he puts his arm around somebody and,
And
walks
you can't
off.
even really tell. I mean, it could have been his brother raising his daughter or something.
The
Yeah.
problem is George Takei, who is gay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nod to George Takei, basically.
Yeah. And he said, no, you shouldn't have done that. He was upset with Simon Pegg, who wrote the film, and said, why did you do that? These are characters that Gene Roddenberry sweated over to create, and now you're changing who the characters are.
Yeah.
That's really not right.
Yeah.
And so there's that controversy. But
Do
what
they
I
have
find, and I
rainbows
may
in
be
space?
on your page here, is
Do they have rainbows in space?
They sure do.
and unicorns, by the way. What I found upsetting in the movie to me as a ticket buyer to go in was it's the same movie over and over and over again. That guy wants to take over the universe, and we go in and help out. And this was the script here was kind of taken from Star Trek Insurgent. There's Into Darkness a little bit into
Yeah.
this. it's just a mashup of other plots. Whereas I really do think they should have done more with creating something new for them to do.
And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen the film, but they do it by force, right? They resolve the conflict by force, which isn't all Star Trek. Star Trek's a philosophical quandary where
Star
they
Trek's about
solve problems.
diplomacy.
Exactly, yeah. But these movies are all just like shoot 'em up, which isn't. I mean, it
Space
happens.
battles.
Yeah. They turned Star Trek into Star Wars, which isn't.
And while you're watching the movie, here's the thing, because you saw it. While you're watching the movie, you're really kind of enjoying it. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's when you leave the theater and driving home, you go, "Hey, wait, that guy chipped me."
I want my money back. Yeah, it was entertaining. I think that this type of series, I think people go to the movie to watch a big blockbuster hit like this because it's entertaining. I don't think they go to have any sort of like philosophical experience.
Yeah,
per
but
se.
that is. But
And
they
it's
should call
entertaining
it
at
something
the end of
else.
the
They
day.
should call it Star
Series.
Star Trek compatible.
Yeah, Star Trek compatible.
And
Hot alien
fan
girl
fiction.
with bow
it's not that
staff.
I gave the movie a C. To me, it's just an average film. It's got great special effects in it. Certainly, the acting is okay.
It looks like visual splendor.
I like the writing between Dr. McCoy and Spock. There's a lot of interaction between them. We're establishing their characters. I like that. I wish the movie was more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're
but-
afraid to go there because they gotta keep it quick for
And
the.
how many times could Scotty call her Lassie?
Lassie.
Classic.
Who's he
Come
calling
here,
Lassie?
Lassie. Come on, Lassie. You're with me.
The
Come
new
on,
chicken.
Lassie.
The alien
Yeah.
chick.
She was hot.
She
I
was
got-
hot, and
I
she
mean,
could fight.
I would have taken her
I
home.
love
She was that
exotic
hot.
alien women. That will get me in the theater.
What will?
Hot exotic alien women
Oh,
will get me in
yeah.
the theater every time.
Hot exotic women
Good to know.
do it for me. Did you enjoy Avatar for the
I sure did.
exotic woman.
I sure did, Tony.
big blue women?
That's a big thumbs up for me. A woman double my size, I like it. All right, sign me up for Avatar
Wonderful
2,
to dance
3, and
with.
4.
That's all I can.
Wonderful dance partners.
Waltzing Matilda.
But so I left the theater a little empty with that. So Star Trek, and I'm a huge fan. I mean, you guys know my history. I mean, I've known Gene Roddenberry, Majel Barrett, the whole cast, Bill Shatner, and the new guys, Chris Pine, Carl Urban, Zachary Quinto is a friend of mine. They do great in this, but I wish the scripts were more intelligent.
They
Exactly,
weren't.
yeah.
They aren't really arcing a lot of the characters into development. I mean, the deepest thing about this was the alien chick calling the Franklin her home, which was one of the first ships that was set out in Star Trek. But Spock and Uhura breaking up because he needed to go propagate more Vulcans.
Well,
But
they have a lover spat.
But he wanted kids, and I guess she didn't or something, and he wants to bring more Vulcans. He's only half
I
Vulcan.
thought that was okay, though. I thought that was a good point
Yeah, that's
because
a good.
Who's he going to
sounds like-
propagate with? There's no more Vulcans.
there
They
are.
all
There
died.
are. No,
there's a
they
planet called New
evacuated them.
Vulcan.
Yeah, New Vulcan.
No, but who's there?
well, it's a
There
logical
were only
move.
23 old Vulcans
No,
that
they-
survived.
Well,
They
that's why
gathered
he's got to
them-
propagate. That's
they
why
gathered
they
them
need
from all
him.
over the universe. That was just one shipload
Yeah.
that you saw, but there were Vulcans everywhere.
Oh, okay. So he felt like he needed to
Certainly,
propagate.
the ones on Earth didn't get killed.
Well, as long as they're born with good hair.
Yeah, good hair and good teeth.
all that
I always
matters.
look at teeth, by the way.
Oh yeah. Teeth are. Yeah, it's a character thing.
Ice Age. What is it? Collision Course.
Collision course.
I wanted to see it, but you guys have seen it.
I saw it.
I don't, these Ice Age films don't appeal to me in the slightest.
It really is becoming what is that?
Redundant.
Land Before Time.
Yeah,
It's becoming that because what you've got is you've got 5 films
Sharp
plus,
tooth.
plus other films with different characters, but
Right.
5 Ice Age films. And what's happening is that there's just no imagination anymore. in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to see the movie and I got angry because even the kids in the audience were like, "What's
Bored.
this?" They were bored. The jokes were terrible.
Yeah.
You have an asteroid going to hit the planet, and it doesn't seem like it's a big deal. You know, and then John Leguizamo is really annoying.
That's
Well,
new.
it's children's entertainment that condescends to children. That's why Pixar's good, because they make family entertainment, meaning the whole family can enjoy. I mean, there's stuff
Right.
for adults too, but with these Ice Age films, it's just like, oh, they're kids, they're idiots. They'll buy into our half-assed script.
This was just crap.
Yeah.
You know, on other crap. And so, I gave it a D. I should have given it an F. But
Trying to be nice.
It's
when
too
I
late
saw,
now.
you guys know I actually go to the movies probably as much as you guys do, 2-3 times a week, and I saw the previews for it, and my only thought was, oh, this squirrel's cute. Oh wait, what? Future? What the? How many sharks can this thing jump? You know?
Yeah.
And the
It
animation
just
is so
lacks
bland
creativity.
when you've got stuff that Pixar's putting out. The animation is it's
Yeah.
uninteresting to look at.
it is like somebody just put a dime in a machine and it cranked out another cartoon.
Yeah.
And it cranked out $1 for every dime.
Yeah,
So,
it's clearly not a labor of love.
Yeah, it felt a little bit like they were making it because they knew they could make money, and they didn't feel like there was a lot of creativity.
This should have been released right to
DVD.
No, VHS. So we
VHS,
could
not
erase it.
even
We could erase it and use the VHS for something.
Tape
Oh
over
my
with some old
gosh.
Star Trek episodes.
Jeez.
Or at least DVD rewrites. Well, what else? Let me see. Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Really quickly, did you guys talk about Independence Day already?
No, we can talk about anything you want.
That was I loved that movie. I love terrible movies just as much as I love good movies.
I loved it for being bad.
It was so bad it was good. I loved every horrible moment of that film.
And there were plenty for you to love.
There is nothing like watching a terrible film with a beautiful woman on your arm. That is a time at the movies, my friends.
'Cause then you have time
Independence
to
Day.
talk. You have
Of
time to
course.
get to know her.
Independence Day resurgence. Bring your date, everybody.
That must be what I missed.
The-
I didn't
the-
have a beautiful woman sitting next to
The
me.
heroes in this
Exactly,
are
yeah.
I was busy that day.
Jeff Goldblum.
CC, you're ruining my life. Can't enjoy movies without you.
The heroes in this are Jeff Goldblum and Bill
Pullman.
Pullman. They're so old. The movie should be called Independs.
Nice.
That's a good one.
No
That
Will
was
Smith.
poopy.
No Will Smith. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Will Smith backed out. He was right.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Well, Roland Emmerich claims that Will Smith just didn't fit into this story, which is complete. It's bunk. They didn't have the $50 million that Will
Now
Smith
you guys
requested.
are both filmmakers. You guys, if
Yeah.
Will Smith came to you and said, "I want to be in your movie,"
Yes, I would.
Will he
I would,
fit in the movie?
I would.
I
Yes,
would make sure
would
he
make
fit
it
in my
work.
bed first.
Me too. I would seduce Will Smith. I would get him right on that casting couch, and then we would roll film.
And Will, of course,
My agent's over there wagging his finger. He's like, no.
Will is now in Suicide Squad and
Yes.
looks great
Yeah,
in this
he does.
movie.
Oh, I want to
excited for
see
this.
that
We'll see, we'll
so
see.
bad.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Supposedly the hype is good. They're saying it's like the best comic book movie. They also said that about Batman versus Superman,
Well,
though, which is
yeah.
one of the worst films of all time.
They
I
had
left
their
in the
safe
middle of
word
that
though.
movie.
What was
Martha.
the say?
What?
Yeah.
You have a Martha in your life too?
They're-
I guess we're friends now.
Yeah.
So what
What
was
the hell?
God, good God, Zack Snyder is
What
a
was
hack.
what was your best, favorite, worst moment of Independence Day?
When are we allowed to spout the spoilers in this?
Yeah,
thing?
Yeah,
you can do
it's
it.
been out for a
Okay,
while.
so I visualized what would have been the perfect moment in this film, and there's this African warlord who's been fighting, these aliens, and he's always like, the weak spot is behind. And then when they're fighting the giant queen, who's like the size of a skyscraper, they eventually go in and shoot her from behind. But I think it would have been perfect if the African warlord grabbed
Because
the
every
microphone.
woman likes to get shot from
Yeah,
behind.
yeah. If he had grabbed the microphone and just been like, "You must take from behind," I think that would have been great.
'Cause that's what they did to their audience.
They took us from behind, and I loved it. I loved that film.
Now there are some great bad Jeff Goldblum movies.
Oh man. Hi. He's doing it. He goes basically in this flying saucer. He's being scared, and he's just going, hide, oh, the horse.
Yeah. Faster,
So
let's go
God.
faster. Just,
God.
please.
Good God,
That's
man.
classic stuff, guys. I don't know what
Vibes
you're talking
is a really bad, funny movie, but it's great. You got to go see Vibes. Cyndi Lauper is in it, and Peter Falk.
And now this is an older movie, so you
Buckaroo
could probably...
Banzai is really
Yeah.
a lot of fun to watch. That's Jeff Goldblum. So So he's done some.
Oh,
So
yeah, I didn't
wasn't
know
he
was
also in Earth
Buffy
Girls
the
Are
Vampire
Easy?
Earth Girls Are Easy. That's when he met Gina Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they starred in The Fly together. Great film,
The
Cronenberg.
Fly. Cronenberg. That is really a great remake. And
Mel Brooks produced it secretly.
yeah. We got to put more Jewish in this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So I mean, you've got these horrible movies that people just end up loving. I do too. I mean, I've got that. I've got my guilty pleasures.
Of course,
Movies that
yeah.
nobody will watch but me.
I love bad films.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you seem to be looking at the clock, going, "Are we there? Do we have to break for a commercial?"
We do have to break for commercial because we need to thank our sponsors and give them some props and recognition.
We need some free pie.
So join us right after these commercial breaks.
From Mangia Pizza.
Brought to you by these great advertisers.
Spreading the word about your business, service, or products just got a whole lot easier with our advertising packages to fit everyone's budget. Click today to see how easy it is to advertise on TV. Talking Pictures, it's a great way to spread the word.
A movie podcast should have more than just rolling on about the recent movies. It should also have stories, background, maybe hosted by an Emmy Award-winning movie critic. We have that on the Talking Pictures podcast.
So we've been talking about some bad movies.
Yes.
Ghostbusters seems to be the one that's got the most controversy before it opened because people hated it before it even opened.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they
they
loved
hated
the
the
original and they
trailer.
were upset that women were,
Were the Ghostbusters.
were the Ghostbusters.
This is where,
What?
Richard and I do comedy, and this guy is like one of the few people that I actually laugh at when I go see. And this tall, blonde-ish, brownish man next to me.
Me?
Yes.
I'm blonde?
Well, sort of. You're
Well,
pale.
thank you.
It's reflecting.
Maybe you're
Your hair's
You're so
been,
pale. You're
Lighting
illuminating your
your hair's
hair.
been kissed by the sun.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's one of the few comics that actually gets me to laugh in town.
Oh.
And great humor. He's a 2%er. He dumbs it down to the 85%ers. But
I do? I usually don't dumb it down and then scream at them for not laughing. That's usually what I do.
But he is very intelligent, and one of the things that is pervasive in comedy, not so much in comedy anymore. Now it's women are taking over. We hate women, but in the public's view, it's kind of like my thing with women directors is that they think women aren't as funny as men.
Which is totally untrue.
It is totally untrue, and it's almost like you have to act like a man to be considered funny.
Yeah.
But yet, if a man acts like a woman, he's funny whether he's in drag or not. But in this movie, these girls were freaking genius. Now, Melissa McCarthy. Now she was still a little bit her in this.
She's the powerhouse Ghostbuster.
Right, but she was not the one that brought the most funny.
Who did you think was the funniest?
I'm trying to remember her name. She played the scientific geeky
Oh,
one.
that's
Kristen Wiig.
No.
No,
No,
Kristen
the
Wiig.
blonde one. She's on SNL.
Kate McKinnon.
Yes,
Right.
that's the one.
She was great.
She was hysterical. So funny and sexy in a geeky way, too, which totally brought it. Kristen Wiig played the straight in this. And Melissa was Melissa, but I mean, she had some funny moments that if you're a Melissa fan, definitely go just to see her in it. She's different enough in it that you don't go, oh great, it's another Melissa McCarthy movie.
Yeah.
That was my thing. But I loved the Easter eggs that were in it. I also loved the jabs at the public. If you haven't seen it, this is a spoiler. They talk about like comments. They go, oh look, we got comments on our page and everything. Those bitches can't hunt no ghosts. It is kind of like what the general public has been saying, that women can't make this movie, and they just totally do what's called a clap back.
I'm gonna probably be the person that's gonna get the most hate on this, but when I watched the movie, and you saw Ghostbusters,
we saw it.
did we all see Ghostbusters?
I haven't seen it yet, sadly.
When I watched the movie, I noticed that, the very beginning scene, you have the tour guide, and that was really funny.
Yeah, he was very funny.
I didn't think the comedy actually came from any of the Ghostbusters. It was all the surrounding characters, and they were reacting to the humor. They were being us as the audience. That should have not happened. It was in the way the script was read. You've got 4 of the funniest women on the planet. None of them were really funny. I mean, like, oh my God, this is hilarious. What was with Kristen Wiig falling for, Chris Hemsworth? All of a sudden she's a scientist, but now she's a little girl who just can't
function around somebody hot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, they're doing a
have to
mirror
just
of
step
the
in and
original,
say,
right?
I can totally feel Kristen Wiig on this one. As smart as I am, I would be the same way.
So-
It's like, it's okay that you're dumb, honey. You don't
But
need
you
to
see,
be smart.
it didn't go anywhere either. Where did that lead us?
Yeah.
Leslie Jones, who I think is an amazingly funny actress and woman, had, she comes in and she goes, well, I'm a historian. Okay, what did that do? Where did that play out where she was the one that saved the moment going, by the way, in 1841, blah, blah, it never happened. So why make her a historian? So these are all things that bothered me about the movie. They were setups that didn't get completed.
Yeah.
And as filmmakers, I'm going to say, no moment in film should ever be wasted.
Of course, yeah.
Everything needs to either be a foreshadow and all of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, well, that's the thing about comedy is there can be wasted moments because it's subjective. So sometimes you're just going for that laugh in the moment, and if it doesn't land with the audience, it is a wasted moment.
And
Which it sounds like there were a lot of those for you.
I think in the writing, they didn't trust the humor in it. And they tried to do things quick, set up quick. And that ruined the pacing. If you go back to the 1984 Ghostbusters, there were some really funny moments in it after the joke. It was like after the library scene, there's a couple of scenes later where they go get him, gun. That was funny because it related to something that happened before.
Yeah.
So I can see.
So you don't feel like there were a lot of running gags in this film.
I don't. Not enough. They didn't arc them properly.
No callbacks.
Yeah, and so I liked the movie, but I liked all the other characters in the film.
Yeah.
We needed the 4 women to really shine.
Actually,
I have to agree with Tony. I actually thought that the 4 women were funny, but I thought the cameos were funnier. I thought, and maybe I'm just biased because I'm in love with Chris Hemsworth.
Sure.
I hear that
I thought he was
Flashbacks.
the funniest part of the entire movie. When he holds up his headshots, which one makes you look more like a doctor? I mean, I was like dying. He was so funny, and then all the cameos, of course. I won't spoil anything, but we've got some cameos I think most people are expecting if you haven't already seen it. Those were the moments, not only that were funny to me, but sitting in an audience full of people, those got the biggest laughs.
Yeah.
And I thought, I actually disagree with you. I did think the 4 women were funny, but I thought that the supporting roles were actually better.
But
I hear
comedy-
Chris Hemsworth was like an inverse, like he's the hot girl role in
Yeah,
this
yes.
female-centric
Like the dumb hot girl.
But here's the question I have for you, Raquel.
Yes.
What was each woman's shining moment? Where was the funny?
I think that it was a collective. I think they actually worked really well together. I actually really liked Kate McKinnon's chemistry with Melissa McCarthy. And I thought that the 4 of them working together as an ensemble were good. I don't know that I can pinpoint any one
Melissa McCarthy.
spectacular
Maybe
moment.
Melissa McCarthy, one of the funniest
failure.
women around. Where was her moment in this? They go, oh my God, it was so funny. It never happened.
I don't know that there was a moment I can point to that was like the funniest scene, that was like an
But I
iconic
can
scene.
point
But
to-
I thought she was funny.
I could point
in
to the
general.
tour guide. I
Yeah.
could point to the guy that came up and goes,
The Chris Hemsworth moment I just mentioned. was
Chris
like that.
Hemsworth was
Yeah.
funny. The guy playing the mayor was funny. There was a lot of funny in the movie, but the 4 women didn't have that moment.
But
Yeah, but I thought they were funny throughout together.
As the sum of their parts,
Yeah.
they were.
Yeah.
That was the shining moment.
I
maybe.
thought the sum of their parts made them shine.
But at the same time, comedy doesn't always have to be the comic being the one with the slapstick. It could
Yeah.
be them setting it up for somebody else to be.
Yeah,
True.
but you don't
Yeah.
want your 4
But you don't need
comic
4 straight
leads.
men.
You don't want
Yeah.
you don't want 4 straight men. That's what Seinfeld did on Seinfeld.
And it worked
Yeah,
brilliantly.
Kate McKinnon, I think
Yeah.
of the 4 women, actually I thought was the funniest of the four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't. I mean, I love
That's what
Kristen
I've heard.
Wiig.
That's what
I
I've
love
heard.
Melissa McCarthy, so I was kind of expecting the two of them to
I will confess.
carry it.
See, and I liked Kristen Wiig in Bridesmaids, but I haven't seen her really be funny after that.
I love her in everything.
I
will
don't
confess.
dislike her. I like her, but I just didn't see.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen either Ghostbusters movie all the way through sitting down. I think that my Ghostbusters was Men in Black, 1997. Speaking
You're a
of
little
Will
bit younger
Smith.
than the rest of us here.
That's
today,
true,
so.
but I don't think I watched it enough as a child to have that nostalgia. Which
Yeah,
is
the
why
minute
I
you do,
loved,
you're gonna start calling yourself the
I loved watching
Keymaster.
the geeks. Exactly. I am the Keymaster, and they are the gatekeeper every time. But yeah, I loved watching the nerds freak out about how it wasn't as good as the original Ghostbusters. I love upsetting cinematic groupthink.
Well, see, and that's kind of wrong. It wasn't, for me as a critic, it's not as good as the first.
Of course.
I won't say that because
Yeah.
it's a whole different.
Yeah.
Paul Feig is a great director. But on its own, it needed to be funnier. I think it needed to do what it didn't do, was let go and really lose itself.
I mean, that with these franchise movies, you're always going to get sort of a watered down experience because it's not.
And somewhere
not a fresh take.
somewhere in the background, I was thinking, well, they're trying to please both. They're trying to please the old fans and the
And
new
the new
fans.
ones.
Yeah.
And it just.
And that's the failing of the Star Trek films too, is that you've got neither here nor there, and then you get a film that doesn't last. So
I'm signaling everybody to be in 30 seconds.
Oh, I thought you were ordering pizza.
Pizza sounds good.
Yeah, we're going to order one right now and get it because we have, David Lane is here.
Oh,
And
yes.
we have to acquiesce to David Lane.
David is our.
He's our dad.
He's our dad. He's our agent. He's coming to wag fingers at me and tell me what I have to
It
say.
depends on which finger he's wagging as to whether he's mad or not.
Like that one was funny. The dean of the college with the middle fingers. And what was this?
Yeah. See, he was funny.
Jimmy Fallon's sidekick.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm Tony Toscano.
I'm Jackson Banks.
I'm Raquel Horton.
And I am CC Chambers. Join us again for the Talking Pictures podcast.
The Talking Pictures podcast is produced by Talking Pictures Productions. Executive producer, Tony Toscano. Produced by CC Chambers. Find us at www.talkingpictures.tv. Talking Pictures podcast distributed by Geek Factor Radio. Also on SoundCloud, Libsyn, and iTunes. Music and sound effects provided by bensound.com.